Welcome to the Pizza Marketplace podcast. I'm Mandy Detwiler, editor of Pizza Marketplace, and I'm here today with Scott Wiener, director of Slice Out Hunger. And we're going to be talking about the Pizza Across America event taking place on National Pizza Day, February 9th. Scott, thanks so much for being with us.
It is an honor, Mandy. I'm so psyched to see you and talk to you.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the project. What was the original spark or inspiration that led to the creation of the Pizza Across America campaign, and how has that initial vision evolved?
Yeah, it's funny. I remember exactly what that spark was. And the spark was a phone call I got from a guy named Carmine Testa, who's got a place called Jersey Pizza Boys in New Jersey. And his sons, Nicky and Michael, are this like world famous pizza dough spinners and incredible. They've been on every show imaginable. And Carmine called me up one day and he said, I was talking to the boys and they really love what you do with Slice Out Hunger, which at the time was not a nonprofit. Or I guess it technically was, but it wasn't a nationwide nonprofit. It was an annual pizza party in New York City that Nicky and Michael and Carmine would attend and toss pizza doughs, and we'd raise money for local hunger relief charities. And he said the boys had an idea. What if we did this idea and we brought the concept nationwide, but instead of it being hosting little parties, what if we just had pizzerias deliver food to shelters and soup kitchens in honor of National Pizza Day, which, as you said, is February 9th. And we just jumped on it. I remember it was late 2017. And I said, well, wait, we got February 9th is coming up fast. And we pulled it together and we got a couple hundred pizzerias around the country to do simultaneous pizza deliveries on the 9th of February. And it was such a big splash. Press loved it. People got attention in the media. And it was also a great way to show off that the local pizzeria is truly an important part of your community and gives back as much as you give to it.
Slice Out Hunger is all about the power of pizza. Why do you feel pizza is such a uniquely effective or powerful vehicle for community service and hunger relief?
Well, pizzerias are always there. They're always a part of the community. They sponsor the baseball teams. You're eating the pizza when your school has a pizza party. I mean, it's the ultimate food to bring people together and to equalize the table because there's no dietary restriction that's excluded 100% from pizza. There's no way of living that excludes the food because it's not tightly defined. And so everybody in the world, forget the US, but the world, can access pizza in one way or another. And if it can bring people together so easily, it's become a community center for people. It's where I would go after school on the way home. I'd stop for a slice, spend a half hour. You put a quarter in the machine and get a little bouncy ball, and then get in trouble because the bouncy ball went into the kitchen. And that's such a formative part of life. And that's why celebrating with pizza is kind of the perfect way to celebrate National Pizza Day.
So what are the key goals you look to hit with each annual Pizza Across America event, like the number of pizzas or pizzerias or people fed?
The number one goal is we want to get every state involved. So every state and territory. And that means sometimes there are states that, we don't have anybody who's signed on yet in North Dakota, or surprisingly, we always have trouble in Vermont. We always try to get all the states and territories involved. So that's number one. Priority number two is to make sure that the areas that have the most need have the most service. So if we know that we're dealing with a ton of destination points in Tucson, Arizona, places that are telling us that they need food deliveries, we will work extra hard to make sure that people in the Tucson area, pizzerias in the Tucson area, are participating. So it's not necessarily a number. Of course, I'd love to get 300 pizzerias involved. Next year, I'd love to get 500 pizzerias involved. But really, it's more about making sure we have full coverage over the country and that it's strong enough to show the public that the pizza community, and specifically the independent pizzeria community, is a community support tool.
Yeah, because you're definitely trying to get the independents. Do you try to get chains as well?
Everybody's invited, but our organization is focused a little bit more on independence because we feel like the chains usually have mechanisms to give back. The independents are the ones who don't. Running an independent restaurant can be lonely. You're not a part of a network. You're not a franchise. So we try to give tools, like what we do is a turnkey solution to being part of the community that all these nationwide chains already have built in. And we try to act as that built-in function for the indies.
So, what do you do to recruit pizzerias? How are you coordinating the hundreds of independent pizzerias that are participating across the country?
We have an intake form that opens up the first week of December. And that means anybody can fill that out and tell us that they want to participate. And the way that we get that form out to people heavily on social media, heavily through the magazines, PMQ and Pizza Today. We work with the US Pizza Team, the World Pizza Champions. We work with companies who are our sponsors, like Stanislaw and Uni and Bianco Di Napoli, and just tons of companies across the board who work with pizza people and can get the message out to them effectively. But really, it's just we're spreading out that link as far and wide as we can, and hoping that people are up for participating, because it's a really low lift. The requirement is simply a donation of 10 pizzas that you will deliver to the destination that we line up for you. And if you sign up too late in the game for us to do the coordination, then it's totally up to you. You can bring it to any hunger relief organization. So this is not a day that we're doing. I know pizzerias donate to everyone all the time, but this is not the event that goes to the fire department or the police station. This is the event that goes to hunger action centers, to the soup kitchen at the local church, to the food collection area where you know that people are going to be picking up canned food, a way to provide fresh, hot food for people. That's this whole event. 10 pizzas donated and delivered, and that's it.
That's wonderful. That's great. Um, what are some of the biggest logistical challenges in organizing what's been called the nation's largest pizza delivery day?
It's tough because not every destination, not every shelter and soup kitchen can accept fresh food, and not every shelter and soup kitchen can collect food every day. And so that's why our campaign is not just National Pizza Day, it's the entire week of National Pizza Day. So we're doing these donation coordinations between February 9th and 15th. We give pizzerias a broad spectrum of days because if you look at the calendar and check out February 9th, 2026, it's Super Bowl Sunday. No pizzerias are going to be making their deliveries that day for us. It's all going to be the week after. And so we always make it a full week because we know that A, the Super Bowl is always that week of National Pizza Day. And B, we know that not everybody can make a delivery every day. Maybe you're closed on Mondays. And then C, not every destination point can accept that food delivery every day. So if they can only take food in on Thursdays between 11 and 1, we make sure that there's a local pizzeria that can do that. That's the hardest part.
Well, how do you choose which soup kitchens and hunger relief organizations to partner with?
We start off with proximity. So if a pizzeria signs up, we take a look at it on the intake form. Every pizzeria will tell us how far it can deliver. Oh, my radius is 9 miles. They'll tell us what days they can deliver. I can only do Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and they'll tell us what time they can deliver. I can do any of those days between 2 and 5 p.m. And we take all that data, and then we pull that into the destination points that can receive on one of those days. So it's always to make things easier for the pizzeria. Everything that we do with Slice Out Hunger is always to make life easier for the pizzeria, but still allow them to do the community service that they want to do.
How does the timing that coordinates with National Pizza Day help with visibility and engagement?
Press is always looking to cover something positive. And National Pizza Day is a great opportunity to cover something, but it's kind of a blah thing to talk about if there's no action involved. So National Pizza Day without an action is just, oh, we're celebrating National Pizza Day. Let's have a local pizzeria maybe come on and tell us about their weekly special. And that kind of falls flat. When we have something like this, it's a bigger story, and all the local news stations can cover the local pizzerias while simultaneously talking about this as, oh, you're part of a nationwide movement here. There's 260 other pizzerias doing this. What do you think about that? And then have those pizzerias share the information that, well, it's an amazing network. We talk to other owners in other states all the time. to kind of pull back the curtain of the pizza business to the standard consumer who doesn't realize that we've moved far beyond the days of secret recipes and hiding the labels on my tomato can and being in a fight with the pizzeria a block and away from your place in New York City.
Can you share a particularly memorable story from a past pizza across America that kind of illustrates the human impact of the campaign?
Yeah, we've had so many cool things happen because we started doing this in 2018, and we did it for the most part even through COVID when the need was really, really high. And it's hard to isolate one moment, but I have a file of every thank you note that's come through that we've received. And I can only imagine how many thank you notes the pizzerias have received to express gratitude for a delivery to a location that might not normally be on the radar of the local pizzeria. So, in terms of specific events, there's just been really cool press opportunities that I've seen people get. I've seen pizzerias on the local TV stations. I've seen influencer marketing pick up on this because it's something different than an influencer visiting a pizzeria and saying, "Oh, look at the cheese pull." It's we've had pizzerias invite influencers for ride-alongs and say, "Oh, instead of just eating a slice of pizza and oohing and eyeing in your phone, come along for this ride-along and you'll see like the real life impact that a small business can have." I know maybe the full picture moment for me was the last year or the year before, and me and Carmine and Michael and Nikki got to be on, I forgot what show it was, but there was like 2 morning shows back to back in New York that we got to be on. And it was this full circle moment of, well, that's how this whole thing began. And now we get to send it out nationwide on this national TV program. I thought that was really cool.
That's awesome. What kind of feedback do you receive from participating pizzerias about what it means to them and their staff to be involved?
Well, the best thing, of course, most people who give us any feedback are giving us positive feedback. I don't think we've ever gotten somebody who said, "What a waste of my time. These people didn't look hungry enough." We never have heard that, but I've heard such great feedback. And the best feedback is, I didn't realize this place was here. They're a block and a half from our shop. Now we have a monthly delivery that we bring them 4 pizzas every month on a Tuesday night. And now it's become so great for us because that's our slow night. We're able to use our staff to do something good for the community. The best thing for us is when it creates a relationship that can be sustaining, because we don't want to be involved for the life cycle of all the relationships. The best is if we can set things up and then let those restaurants have those relationships.
You partner with the World Pizza Champions. That's a group of pizzeria owners who excel in their industry. How important is that partnership to scale and reach of the event?
One thing about this event that's interesting is it's entirely industry facing in terms of participation. So civilians have nothing to participate with. They can't really do anything to help. To reach that audience of pizzeria owners and operators, somebody professional like World Pizza Champs is so effective because people look up to that team and they look up to the members on that team. And if those members are talking about their participation in a campaign like this, then it inspires other people. Oh, if so-and-so is doing it, then it must be legitimate. And I mean, I've known you, Mandy, for before I was even involved in the pizza business. I met you the day that the spark was lit with me. And I know that when other people see that, they get that spark from somebody else, like a professional on one of the teams. That's the thing that lights a fire that you just can't put out.
Does the success of Slice of Pizza across America inspire other food-related campaigns for Slice Out Hunger, or is pizza truly the singular focus?
Slice Out Hunger only deals with pizza. We only deal with pizzerias, and Pizza Across America is the one campaign we do every year that's a direct donation. The other campaigns that we have, like the Pie It Forward program, is a program where a service organization will request from us a pizza delivery. And then we will work with a local pizzeria to either donate or for us to sponsor, or at least partially sponsor, that delivery. This is the only time, Pizza Across America is the only time that we're asking pizzerias to give something.
That's awesome. How does it feel to do something so good for people?
I have mixed feelings about it because honestly, I'm frustrated at how much need there is. And this is not something that I ever dreamed of. Oh, my big dream is to run a nonprofit that's going to be helping people facing food insecurity. And honestly, like, the dream for the organization and for any hunger relief organization is to not have to exist. So there's a frustration with me about it, but there's also, it always feels good to help people. But the way that I'm always thinking about the next part of the project and how we can make these things get better. I would love for this organization, for Slice Out Hunger, to really be a mechanism that just helps connect pizzerias with other people. It's unfortunately, and this is something that I feel like I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but the like joy of helping somebody, it sort of goes away quickly, because then I'm just thinking about, well, how are we going to continue and how are we going to make this better? It's always fun to help somebody, but unfortunately, there's so many people who need help are not the people you make eye contact with. So this is not a situation where you can see somebody on the street and know right away that they're facing food insecurity. Unfortunately, it's a problem that's largely invisible. And therefore, connecting with somebody directly is, you can't do it just for that reason. You do it because you know it's a right thing to do.
So how do pizzerias get involved?
It's super easy. Sliceouthunger.org is our website. And right when you get to that main page, there's a button at the top of the page that says you can sign up for Pizza Across America. And if you're snooping around the website, you can also see there's a whole campaigns list that shows you everything we do. Then there's a little section that's about us that shows our members, companies we work with, pizzerias we work with. And Pizza Across America is one singular campaign. If you sign up to participate with that, we'll follow up and ask if you'd like to become a Slice Out Hunger pizza partner, which basically means that you just check a box and say yes. There's no cost. We don't ask for anything from the pizzerias. You don't have to send us money ever. What we do ask is that every pizza partner commits to either donating a minimum of 30 pizzas per year to any local shelter or soup kitchen, which these 10 for Pizza Across America can count toward that, or they can raise $300, not for us, but for any local hunger relief organization. And if you take that pledge, that means you're a partner. And I send out a cute little pizza partner kit in a little pizza box with some t-shirts and stickers and decals and temporary tattoos and, stuff that our sponsors send to us. And beyond that, we just check in with you regularly. So you can go to the website and sign up for this campaign, Pizza Across America, or you can also just go and sign up directly as a pizza partner. And that's all right at sliceouthunger.org.
All right, this is my last question, and it's your Miss America question. After coordinating such a massive pizza delivery day or week, what is the first slice of pizza you eat, and what style is it?
Oh, well, it's definitely going to be a grandma slice from the local place near me, right next to the subway station, because that's just my home slice.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, thank you so
Final
much.
answer.
Final answer. Well, thanks so much for being with us today. This has been awesome.
My honor, Mandy. So good to see you.
So good
to talk to you.
Yeah. That'll do it for this episode of the Pizza Marketplace podcast, and we'll catch you next time.